It says we are live.
Hello, people.
Hello. Welcome to the much anticipated Monsters Made and Born or Born and Made. I don't have a copy of the book, but insert cover here.
Here we are.
There you go. Katie's got it.
Katie's the one who's always prepared.
I would have had it, but I didn't buy a copy of it. I got it from my library.
I have a Kindle copy, so.
Well, see, I don't have a Kindle, so
That's the only way I could have read it is my library didn't have any copies. It wasn't on KU or Libby or anything like that, so I had to buy it for my Kindle. So
I was able to get the physical copy, and I'm pretty sure I had the audiobook, but I don't know if I got that through Hoopla or the library. I don't know. I had both. I had physical and audiobook. So shall we get started?
yeah.
Katie gets to do the dramatic.
Oh my gosh.
Synopsis.
Yep.
Hang on, I will just quickly share the live.
She's got to prepare her dramatic voice.
I need to prepare my voice. I'll just share the link. We are live discussing monsters.
And I'm not sure how to pronounce the author's name.
I feel like it's Tanvi Burwa. I could be wrong.
I have no idea. I'm not good with names, so.
Yeah, I'm awful when it's long and complicated, and I never want to insult the author.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. 16-year-old Coral and her brother Emmerich risk their lives to capture the monstrous Maris stags that live in the Black Seas around their island. They have to, or else their family will starve. In an oceanic world swarming with vicious beasts, the ruling elite have indentured her family to provide the Maris stags for the Glory Race, a deadly chariot tournament reserved for the upper class. The winner receives gold and glory. The losers, well, if they're lucky, they survive. When Coral fails to capture a Maris stag for this year's race, her family can't afford medicine for her chronically ill little sister. Coral's only choice is to do what no one has ever dared, cheat her way into the Glory Race. But Coral must race against contenders who have trained their whole lives and have no intention of letting a low-caste girl steal their glory. When riots then break out, Coral has to do more than win the race. She will have to stop the whole island from burning. Monsters Born and Made is an epic South Asian-inspired fantasy debut that would leave you breathless until the very last page.
South Asian.
Bum.
Yep.
Now, did you find you were breathless at the last page?
No.
That is the question.
No.
Has anyone ever been breathless at the end of a book? You'd have to really be shocked, wouldn't you? But I can't.
Gothic Kana, I think, was the last one that I was just kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah, like most times, if it's normally like, oh damn, like rather than breathless.
This was not one of those. I'm not sure how I feel about this book, really.
No.
What did everybody rate it?
I have yet to rate it.
I gave it 3 stars.
Same. I don't know. It was just, I finished it and I was kind of like, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite.
Mm.
It's very much in the middle. I'm trying to find I have a snapshot of all the questions and I'm trying to find it.
Would you like me to resend it?
Give me a moment and let me see if I can find it, and then if not, yes. Aha, here we go.
There, you got it. As soon as I clicked copy, you're like, I found it.
Yeah. I knew I had it. It's just a matter of like, where did I have it?
I just have it as like in a notepad app, like literally it's just called book club discussion, and then I just copy and paste it every time.
I should probably do that. I should probably copy paste it and then put it in a note thing. So we read Format. I think we said that already.
Yeah, like I mostly listen to audiobook, but I did also physically read as well.
I had physical and audio, yeah.
It helps with the spelling of things, like when you physically read.
It did, because I started to read it without the audiobook, and then I got to a word, and I was like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, and especially the pronunciation of people's names as well helps too.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know it said in the synopsis that it was like South Asian. I didn't get that feel.
I kind of got it with some of the names. I could see it being South Asian with the names, but other than that, I didn't really get too much from them.
Maybe if the narrator was like from South Asia and had that accent, I don't know, it might feel.
It just didn't seem that way. And it was very, like, once you get into and I know we'll talk more about this later, but like when you get into the actual races, it didn't seem like races to me. It seemed more like challenges of the Hunger Games variety.
Yeah, it did feel very Hunger Games.
You had to get through it in order to go to the next one.
Yeah. And most of the time end up dying.
Somebody was always taken out.
Yeah.
We already talked about rating characters. Is there any?
I like the main character, Coral.
Yeah, I enjoyed Coral. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like her little Maristag Stormgold. Stormgold?
Yeah, Stormgold was. I wanted one of Stormgold, not the other.
How did you guys imagine the Maristags as well? Like, it was really hard for me to think of them.
Yeah, I just pictured them as like giant seahorses for some reason, with legs.
See, for me, I was thinking of them as like giant sea bulls. I don't know, because of the antler. I don't know, like.
It's like a cross between a horse and a deer.
But they would have to be able to breathe underwater because they had water chariot race thing, didn't they?
Yeah. So it's like a mermaid horse deer thing.
But even on the front of this cover, it's really hard to. I mean, yes, okay, the face, but like the rest of it, there's no body to it. So, like, what is it?
Yeah, like I pictured like the face that was on the cover, but like the rest of the body had like the legs of like a horse, but attached to the body of a seahorse kind of thing. That's the way that my
I thought it had 4 legs at least.
It's very hard to like pinpoint it because they had stables, so it has to be in some sort of. They have to have legs, I'm assuming. But she said that they had to go and capture them from the ocean. So again, that brings like seahorse, mermaid type,
and
vibes.
Also for them to be able to have reins on them as well.
Yeah.
Now I'm just picturing like
to a chariot,
the giant seahorses from King Trident.
I know what you mean.
You see what I mean? Like it's not. There's no clear, concise like this.
No, because they don't describe it like fully, do they? It's
no.
In fact, I don't even seem to recall any description really.
No, I think
Yeah.
We're going by the face on the cover, like that's the tree. Yeah. And
but
just
see,
judging.
even the cover, it shows it like to me that looks like a horse with deer antlers.
I just don't know because like, oh, it's
So
what is this backgroundy stuff like? But I don't even know. Like,
I
is
don't
that the
know.
body or is that just? I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
quite, it's
not too
questionable.
sure. And it's like whenever they were describing the Capricorns as well, it's like I just automatically reverted to the zodiac how like the zodiac Capricorns look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think they're supposed to be like bigger and more like aggressive looking than what I was assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, I've only just seen the back of this book where it talks about the creatures, and there's a section of Maristag. Did you guys have that in your thing?
I
I
think
may have had it, but I didn't look.
yeah,
One
same.
of the strongest, fastest creatures in the world. They are livesome and scaled. These creatures are bipedal with shorter forelimbs and powerful hind limbs. Their rudder-like tails are body length and help them to swim across the seas. Their claws have retractable webbed skin, and their eyes have a white film over the pupils. Around their necks, they have a retractable frill fin, which also holds venomous barbs that they can shoot out with enormous speed at considerable distances. Their antlers are multi-tined, which they use to fight and display dominance as the proud creature that they are.
See, with that description, I just picture a ginormous seahorse with antlers in peace.
King Trident seahorse, and then you
Yeah.
add some antlers,
And
and then
webbed
you've got the
hands.
little barbs, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
I wonder if, because with her taking Capricorn into, like, from the zodiac, how do you spell Mirastag?
Maristag.
Maristag.
Yeah.
Maristag.
And see, stag is that would be a type of deer.
Well, someone made a deviant art, like, drawing. Let's see. Let me share screen. Share screen. Like this. It's what it comes up as.
Make it bigger.
That's not what I needed to do.
See, if we're going by that, it looks like a damn velociraptor with deer antlers.
I know. And this is supposed to be like art that someone made based on the book.
The story. Yeah, because you can see her in the chariot behind it.
The leg things make sense because they do say the front two are shorter than the back two.
Yeah.
So it's
although the chariot looks very small.
Yeah. It's strange. Wonder.
I pictured the chariot to be quite big. I don't know. Like I know there's only one person in it, but like it's got to be strong enough to be heavy enough to not fall over, if that makes sense.
Kind of like the ones from Gladiator times.
Yeah, like they need to be heavy because if they were too light and just squidged for one, they would fall everywhere, wouldn't they?
Yep. So I'm going with velociraptor with antlers.
I'm trying to also pull up. I'm also trying to see if there's any artwork for the Capricorns. And like the only one that pulls up, which it doesn't say that it's from the book. It's not from the book, but that's what it's kind of coming up as. But
right,
I kind of think with just the descriptions of how they're supposed to be the type of like creatures that are feared, it seems possible.
It's a cross between the two.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Okay. It's a velociraptor with antlers.
If you type in Monsters Born and Made Bookish Box exclusive, there's a special cover, and it kind of has like the head.
You can share it if you want.
Very.
You can share it if you want.
Okay. Present. This one. Do you see it?
he. Interesting.
So that's kind of like, it's almost like a kind of wolf kind of head, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
But the antlers are more like
It kind of looks
further back.
well,
I don't know.
the face to me looks like a cross between either a possum or a or
I know what you mean with the little ears.
yeah. What?
Well, sometimes if you like sneak up on a possum, they make that face when they try to scare you away.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. And then you've got the deer antlers, and then you can see. I guess that's supposed to be a foot up at the front.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look like a foot though.
No, I think that might be part of that neck thing it says it has.
Might be like where the barbs come out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a weird looking creature.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it is supposed to be
Anyway.
like on a different world too, so
This
Yeah.
is true. I guess that lives in the ocean. I wouldn't want to harvest that every year. No, thank you.
which makes me wonder if the planet that they're on is located in the Capricorn like constellation, if that's where the Capricorn animals live.
That would make sense if it was something of that nature. Yes, it is a totally weird looking creature. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So am I.
But I would still have liked to seen, like, even though we have now visual representation of it, I still would have liked the description so that we could see it while we're reading it.
Yeah.
Or even like a little doodle of it somewhere, like.
Yeah, like a sketch of sorts in the back or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like next to the description of it or something, like.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Stay a while if you like. Least favorite character?
Dorian's dad?
Yeah, but I honestly really didn't care for Dorian that much.
Yeah, I didn't really either, actually. Like,
I didn't like him. I didn't like his dad, and the lady in charge. I didn't like her either.
yeah. Also, I didn't really like Cora's dad either.
Mm-mm.
Baba or whatever he was. He wasn't a nice dad.
Oh yeah.
Snack delivery.
Ooh.
I did feel for Cora with her dad. I'm just like,
Yeah. It seemed like all the adults were kind of assholes. It seems to be a theme with dystopian.
Like, well, yeah, even like the Kingmaster or whatever they're called, the chariot master person. Is it Kingmaster?
Maybe. I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I've slept since then multiple times.
It's basically the person in charge of the races, I think. But yeah, it seems like all of the adults in some way, shape, or form were assholes with this book. Which, like you said, is typical of a dystopian, but I think more so in this this one.
Yeah,
Everybody was against Coral.
it just kind of seems like when it comes to YA dystopian books, like even with just like more like heavy on like fantasy dystopian,
Mm-hmm.
it always seems to be a criteria for like the adults in the series to be like either non-existent or useless or just assholes, and the
Yes.
kids like come to save
Oh,
the day.
Arlene. I hated Arlene as well. Arlene.
Oh yeah,
Was
The
she the
horrible
snooty
one.
one? I
the one
remember
that
one.
tried to kill her.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
the one in the race. There's with also Saran.
Hmm.
I think Saran's the guy. And Arlene's trying to like get Coral out of the race, and Saran was trying to get Dorian out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but their
I didn't
plan
care for
didn't.
her friend either.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for her best friend.
yeah. She went like a couple of races ago, and I just was like, I don't really care that you died. This sounds really
Yeah.
horrible, but that's the feels I got. I was like, oh well. Justice.
Sorry. Yeah, there was definitely some sorry, not sorry moments.
Mhm.
Plot. What did we think about the plot?
I
I
thought
like
it was interesting, um, with the aspect of it being like a race kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like the book itself leaned too heavily on the inspiration from Hunger Games because it felt like almost just like a reskinned version of Hunger Games.
Yes. I mean, we didn't have a lot of like all the districts and stuff, but in the way of like, it just seemed like there was a lot of kids coming from different areas to do these races. And I don't know. I don't know.
And with her like doing it for her sister type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
trying like to better her life for her sister. People looking down on her because of like them being kind of in the middle of like the lower class and the higher class kind of stuff.
I feel
The
like,
fight to the death.
yeah. I feel like you could replace the name of Coral and put in Katniss, and then the sister who's sick, that could be Primrose.
Mm,
And then Dorian would be either PETA or what was the other one?
yeah.
Gale.
Yeah.
So you could make parallels about the characters.
And I could see it being good for if you're like in a phase where you're really big into dystopian and Hunger Games like books.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's just too similar for me to really enjoy.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked the Hunger Games uh, more so than this one. I don't know. This one just felt like it was missing something.
I see what you mean. I still like the races.
Yeah.
I think the
I did
races were
feel
good, but
I did feel like that was what drew me into it a little bit more and kept me reading was the description of the races.
mm-hmm.
Like the action of it was I quite liked as well.
Yeah.
Like it made it very fast paced. It was like boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Especially the final race. I was like, whoa.
Especially since that was supposed to be like a labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
So with that one, I feel like that was more like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and the third Triwizard Tournament thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was kind of like windy, like a maze thing, wasn't it? Like them going for it.
Mm-hmm. And it almost seemed like they had to go from the outside and work their way in before they could leave.
Yeah. In the drome. Not a dome, a drome.
It might as well be a dome.
Yeah, I was envisioning it as they were in a big dome. Because
That's what
obviously
it's,
they're underwater, aren't they? So obviously they would have to.
or at least part of it was underwater because it seemed like I don't know. I picture like a stadium, but it's like half set in water so that the Maristags have their abilities to do what they need to do. But then they had still above water abilities. I don't know.
I
It's
can't
very
really
hard to
how they
picture.
did it.
Have you frozen, Sam?
Yeah, even when like starting and stopping the cameras, not wanting to do anything.
Yeah. Like, at least you're posed in like a very thoughtful pose.
I'm
You are.
over
It
here
looks like
working
you're
on my
just
loom. No big
Yeah.
deal.
It might catch up later.
Speed run through everything that I was doing.
you'll start seeing them work really fast.
Yeah, I almost imagined it as like, I know it sounds weird, but almost like a Mario Kart race, but with the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially since Mario Kart does have underwater races.
Yeah, but that's like what I was envisioning with that last one.
Uh-huh. I could see it.
And then instead of throwing shells, it's just throwing daggers from Arlene.
Yeah.
Cue the sound effects from Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Next time you listen to that part, that you need just to like play Mario Kart in the background, like the sound effects when someone gets hit.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Then you
Oh,
just
look, there goes a banana
Coral
peel.
and Storm go. Da, 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 da. Like, like Dorian's busy, quick. Da, da, da.
I would definitely I would like to have seen. I know it was pretty detailed for the races, but you don't really get to see it. It was more like telling this is how the race is going and stuff like that, but you don't really get to see it.
No.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked to have seen more like what the world looks like for this book because you don't. I mean, I get I don't know. I picture them living on like a coastal type vibe because they're
Yeah.
close to the water, but at the same time, there's some sort of distance away that they're not too close to the water, and they have. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
I pictured it like the poor ones were like by the sea bit, and then the more rich were kind of like the
Or high up.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
See,
how I envisioned it.
and then like with it saying that like the sun can be like severely injure you, and I'm like, oh, so we're in Florida. Okay.
Right. Nobody can really. That's the other thing too. Is like, how do these people survive if they can't go outside during the daylight? Like, they have to have like vampire strength SPF 1,000 just to go outside.
I would like a prequel story though about like the people coming to that planet because it touches briefly about how their people like came to that world.
Yeah,
I wanted more information about that.
that's true too. Because first of all, I didn't even know we were on a planet. I thought it was just we were in like an ocean type city. But if we're on a different planet, then yeah, I think we need to have some sort of novella or what's it? Not an epilogue, but the other one, prologue
Yeah.
of saying like this is how we landed on this planet and now we're here.
Well, didn't they have like a bit of a prologue at the beginning of the book?
To be honest, I don't know.
Let me find
If
out.
but did they talk about
I think it was just talked about enough to kind of explain like the world a little bit, but it I don't think it went into too much detail. Just enough to get my interest peaked a little bit. I was like, well, I want to know more about this. Where's this information?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen more of the world
Oh my
before we got
god!
into
Is
this.
that a Maristag at the beginning?
Uh,
That makes it look like a dragon with antlers now.
I know, right?
We have no clear depiction
And then,
of
like,
this.
in the water, there's like a little. I'm assuming that's one as well. Like, swimming.
Well, isn't there bat like things that came and attacked the entire like town at one point? I forgot what they were called.
Yes. I don't remember what those were called either.
Oh, yeah, and there's the little goat creature thing. There.
The
Oh, the
Capricorns, yeah.
Capricorn.
That's the
Yeah.
one.
But see,
And there's a
that
weird.
map kind of looks like it's different islands.
And there's that
Yeah.
creature there, that one.
I don't even know what that
Which
is.
looks very. Like a crocodile almost.
Yeah, see, we need like a visual aid, like a visual section. This is what the creatures look like, or this is what I imagine them to look like. Or
Well,
we
I
need
know. Yeah, like the two creatures that I'm thinking of that is like kind of mentioned briefly is like the bat like things that attack everybody that kills a bunch of people. And
Mhm.
then there is an animal that resides in the water. I think they were called raptors. I think, I can't remember. For some reason, raptors come to mind. But
I think you're
she
right.
almost like when she was thrown in the crate or box or whatever into the water, she like it was banging against the box trying to get at her. So
Yeah.
That is the drome. That thing.
Hmm.
Weird. So it's surrounded by water, but it's on land.
Yeah.
Uh I can see the whole.
See, I didn't even think to look at the map whilst reading.
Yeah.
I
hardly ever. Yeah, I hardly ever look at maps when I'm in the middle of reading a book. I look at it when I start the book.
Yeah, and then
Right.
I forget about to look at it again at the end. But you know, when you look at it and you're like, "Oh, that's a Maristag."
Yeah.
We just sat here like, if only they had a picture somewhere.
The universe is like, ladies, look at your books, please.
I don't have one, so there. What do we think about the writing style?
I liked it.
It was all right, I
It
guess.
was easy for me to read, so.
Yeah, I thought it was all right, but kind of felt a little generic to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I know, I can understand that one. I mean, I get what you're saying. Because, I mean, I feel like if we had gotten more descriptions on certain things, it probably would have made it that much better. Because then you visualize the story more than just there's words on a page.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish the book was a bit longer. It does feel like maybe that's why it's lacking all that info. It's a shorter book, isn't it? Like,
and was this a debut book or no? Do we know? Do we know?
I have the Goodreads page.
yeah, it's a debut. Yeah.
That explains a lot.
So it says this is her debut novel.
It's a good one, but I feel like there could be more. Our favorite part of the book? I would think the final race is mine.
Yeah, like I'd say that had the most action in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have to say that as well.
I can't really, like, that's the only one that really stands out. Unless you, well, there's also the attack on the beach. That one too kind of stood out, but the final race is what gives you the most attention. Least favorite part of the book.
The when their house gets caught on fire with her sister in it.
Yes.
I definitely wanted to throw stuff.
Yeah, or when her brother just gets like arrested or whatever, like.
Yeah.
I think that scene, personally, I think that was a setup. Like, they took them there, and then they somehow they got separated. And then all of a sudden, the lights went out, and they couldn't see anything to find each other. And then they got separated, and he went to the jail or prison or whatever it's called. I feel like that was them trying to get under her skin. We're gonna try to do everything to sabotage. Would you reread it?
I would read another book by the author. I'm not sure if I would reread it.
Same, yeah.
Or if she did another book from the world somewhere, or like, I don't know, but
yeah, if she did that, like if she ever came out with like a prequel to it, then I could see myself like rereading it. Or if I had enough time and like in between and try to give it like another try, maybe.
Yeah. Or if she turned it into a series, because I know it's only a standalone.
The way that it ended, it seems like it would be a duology.
It would be
really hard to like get a fantasy to just be a standalone, though. Like,
yeah,
you would have to pack a lot of information into one book, and it would probably be this big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we've ever had a one book fantasy.
No, it's very rare.
Yeah.
And most times they end up turning into like having a series or duology anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's like The Host by Stephanie Meyer. She's meant to have a sequel of that at some point, but as to when that is, like, supposedly she was planning on having a sequel to that.
I think we dodged a bullet, to be honest.
I have not read that one yet, so.
I've read 2 of her books. I'm okay with just the 2.
Which ones did you read?
Twilight and New Moon.
No. She's like, I've read these, I'm fine. Nope.
But why you like that? Why you like that with the Crave books as well? Did you have the same feels for that, or did you like it?
The first one I didn't like at all. I gave like 2 stars or 2.5, something like that. I liked the second one a little bit more when I read it recently, but my reading of that series is going to be put on hold for a bit.
Yeah. We'll discuss that after.
Well, then Alicia feels that way about the Shatami series. So.
Well, there's a whole legal reason why my reading is put on hold, not just the fact that I'm still kind of about it.
Yeah. Would you buy this for someone else? Probably not.
If I had like a teen in my life that was big in like dystopian stuff at the moment, then yes. Camera's frozen, so they're not going to be able to see him.
Yeah, we have to imagine your face.
He's got a chicken. Yeah, it's not.
Oh, you can't even restart it, can you?
Mm-mm.
You can't leave the call, come back?
Just whatever you do, don't be naked in case the camera works again.
It freezes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then freezes again.
I'm like, oh, that's
it's gonna be a full moon today.
and I think we already kind of touched on this one, but would you read another book by the author?
Yeah, I mean, they've written a book called Somewhere in the Deep, which I'm quite intrigued by. I keep looking at every time I see it in the bookstore.
Oh, they already have another one out?
Well, it's called Somewhere in the Deep, and it came out this year, beginning of this year.
Oh.
I mean, I'm always up for giving authors at least another chance, unless I absolutely dislike their writing.
I mean, at the minute, it's saying that that's also a standalone as well, so that'd be quite intriguing. But
Amanda says, "Who has birds? I absolutely love birds." Sam has baby chicks at the moment.
Yep.
So that might be what you're hearing. Would you like another book from this world? I think we said yes.
Yeah.
We need more information. And if she's, like you said, if she's gonna do like a duology type thing, then yeah, there's gonna be more than one book.
Yeah.
So,
I think they've only written Somewhere in the Deep, which has just come out this year as well. So that's their second book. So
is that one a part of this, or is it completely different?
No, I think it's completely different standalone. But it's based underwater, I think.
Interesting.
17-year-old Crescent June is buried under the weight of her dead parents' debt and the legacy that they left behind. The only way that she can earn enough money to escape her unforgiving island is by battling monstrous creatures in an underground fighting pit. After a fight goes terribly wrong, she's then banned from the pits, and hopeless, she's offered a deal in exchange for the erasure of her debts. She must join and protect a hunting party for a rescue mission deep within the mining caves beneath the island. Crescent is determined to keep her head down and fulfill her role as the dutiful bodyguard, even though she's trapped underground with her childhood enemy and a company of people who would gladly kill her if they knew who her parents were. As they come across creatures that she believed only existed in legends, it becomes clear that they're in far more danger than she could have imagined, but someone doesn't want her to make it out alive, and she'll have to figure out who before she's left alone in the dark.
Alrighty then.
It sounds kind of interesting.
It does.
And very different, actually. So I like the cover of it, actually, as well.
Yeah, the cover looks pretty cool.
It's quite blue and mysterious with a nice...
It's called...
Kraken tail, I don't know. Be careful of the Kraken. Sam is frozen. Did Elsa freeze her? Are you calling her husband Elsa?
I mean, he was fabulous in that dress, but I doubt
that. It's quite possible. She's still with us.
She's still in voice. Well, maybe we can read that at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
And compare.
Maybe, yeah. What books would you recommend that are similar?
I mean, Hunger Games.
I mean, yeah, that one comes.
Or like any generic dystopian, Divergent.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I can see.
Any sort of YA dystopian would be the best bet.
Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. Scythe series.
But yeah, Hunger Games is probably the top one, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean about the Somewhere in the Deep one. I just found the cover and I'm just like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, it's the blueness, I think, that's drawing me in. And like the fact that the tail or whatever it is red, it goes with the blue, doesn't it? So it's just like...
Katie has things for tentacles, apparently.
Yes, especially when they have a prickly end to it.
I mean, that's a lot of spines to get through.
I mean,
Never say
works
never.
for her pleasure, I guess.
For here, we'll pull it up for anyone curious. This is what the cover looks like.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting cover.
Yeah. I keep seeing it in Waterstones, and I'm just like, you know, when you like pick up a book and you're like, do I? And then you put it down again, and you're like, maybe not this time.
Yeah, they are quite. It's sometimes it's the cover that draws you in, and other times it's the synopsis. Like someone says, "Oh, you should go read this," and then I go, "Oh, okay."
I'll see if it's gone down in price anyway.
I know on Kindle right now it's $1.99, according to Goodreads.
Yeah, it's $1.49 on Kindle here. Or hardcover is $13.79 from Amazon, which is actually pretty good for a hardback.
I will see if my library has it when the time comes.
Yeah.
Any other comments about the series or the book? I mean, series. The series of events that happened in this book.
The series of unfortunate events.
Nothing that I can think of. I think we pretty much covered it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other things that have happened in this book that I care to comment on. Our next book date, channel, and times. I know that it is the.
So I think it's my channel, isn't it? We said, didn't we?
Yeah. I
And
would. I have the
said-
book at my feet. I could show you guys if my camera would let me.
This
but
one,
no.
right?
Yeah. I think we said 20th, didn't we? Because I kind of can't do 13 or 27.
Right.
So yeah,
So-
20th.
A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which is book 2 and the From Blood and Ash series.
Yeah.
By Jennifer L. Armentrout. On Katie's channel on July 20th.
Same time.
Be 2 p.m. EST, 1 p.m. EST, and 7 p.m. BST.
Yeah.
Did I get them all right? Yeah.
Yay!
I knew mine, and I knew Sam was an hour behind me, and I think you're 5 hours ahead of me.
It's 5, yeah. It only gets weird when we have the time changes, like, you know, the previous one, and like your clock changed like 1 week before my. I don't know, it was really weird. Like how
spring forward, I think it was.
And we were just like, am I BST or CS? Like, what is it? What is it? Yeah, not to confuse everyone, but
well, I guess we're all done. We kind of talked about the book. We're all set for the next one. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
We have chosen July's book as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
The results came out for that.
And I picked that up from my library, and y'all like some chunky books, let me tell you.
Yeah,
that one was
I
like
picked up
130 something.
Yeah,
Strange,
I picked up a
the
copy
Dream.
from my library as well.
Yeah. That's where I got mine, and I was just like, oh, Jesus, they're trying to kill me.
You're welcome.
Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Laini Taylor has very kind of that lyrical writing, so this will be interesting because me and lyrical
when
writing.
you guys say, "What do you want to put to a vote?" I just go through my Goodreads list and be like, "Okay, sure." That happened to be one that was up next.
Same. My Kingdom of Flesh and Fire is 558 pages, and then Strange the Dreamer is 530 some pages, and I'm like,
But you'll fly through Kingdom of Flesh and Fire.
Well, I mean, I have the audiobooks, so I know I
You're not
will.
going to want
But
to put down. If you loved From Blood and Ash as much as you did, you're not going to want to put Flesh and Fire down.
yeah.
Is Blood and Ash still fresh in your heads, or are you doing quick rereads? Or...
Parts of it, I might do a quick reread through.
No, the most important question is, do you remember what happened at the end of the first one?
No.
No.
That's why I'm trying to reread it as well.
Then I suggest just, if you push comes to shove, just read the last chapter and then...
Yeah, I would say the first half of the book I'm very clear on, but it's like the second half I would just say like is the hazy part.
Yeah, because I finished my reread just the other day.
I know that there's a maiden and she's not supposed to be touched, and I know that there was fights and battles, and there was this guy posing as somebody who's not really... I don't know. That's all I remember. And then there was like love interest.
By the end of the book, she's been very much touched. So
yeah, I remember that part. She was touched all right.
Oh yeah, and then she finds out that so and so dun dun dun. Like...
Now we have to see what happens now.
Lots of bound chicka wow.
Or I could see if I can find someone's really spoilery review where they talk about a lot of stuff of the first book, maybe. That could be quicker.
Or I can just tell you. So.
We'll get on here and just go.
Well, if you create some bullet points of things and then send it, and then I will be ready to dive into book 2.
We'll probably give it a reread. Knowing me.
Well, you've got until the 20th, so...
I mean, it's doable.
Times 3 speed?
Well, when I first read the first 3 books, when they were out, I read them, like, back-to-back within a week, so...
I mean, if she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, her writing's quite easy.
All right. So we have our next book in hand. So join us for that.
Well, you do.
Well, I have my copy.
I have my copy near me, but
mine is over there. Like...
We all have a copy. We're gonna read it. Come back and discuss it with us. And until next time, anything you guys want to plug before we leave? Do you have any videos or lives coming up? I know I have Sunday reading sprints tomorrow at 11 EST.
Eve, if you're going to be doing the Hunger Games readathon for July?
Probably not for me, because I already have my TBR picked. I still remember the series, though, so it's still fresh. Plus, I just finished A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
No, it's not to read the books. It's an actual readathon based on Hunger Games.
I know. I haven't been doing too many readathons this year.
Really, the only month-long one I was planning on doing is the Comic Con one that Kim and Stephanie is doing.
When is that?
It's the whole month of July.
Oh, I thought it was later. Okay. I'll think about it.
I may or may not stream later today on Twitch for like a game. I've been debating streaming some games since I won't have much time to stream any longer during the week because of my new job, but I might play a game on Twitch later.
I keep wanting to stream, but I just can't be bothered. Like quite a lot of the time, if I'm ever playing, I'm like, oh, I could totally stream now, but then can I be bothered to talk as I game? Yeah, it's the effort. Because normally when I game, I'm like I'm quite silent for a good long
Yeah,
time,
same.
and then I'll just be like, "Oh, you bastard," or something like that, you know.
And then you have me when I'm playing games on Tuesday with Allie and like other Twitch friends. You just have me yelling, "No, no, 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 no!"
Or there's just me Dead by Daylight, like, "You tunneling prick!"
Yeah. What is going on? Ah! Fuck you!
I just got off the hook, you twit.
Yeah.
Can't believe you did that.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't really
Anyway.
yell when I'm playing games.
I only yell with that game. Brings
Yeah,
out
I
the
think
evil
I only
in
yell
me.
with that game.
Oh no, I take that back. The only time I really yell is if I'm playing Fallout and something comes up like right in my face, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
And I remember when I first played like Alan Wake like years ago, and like I had to like shout and yell because I didn't want to be scared by the shadow monsters that jumped out. So I'm like, "I can see you coming. Yeah, I know you're gonna jump at me." And then like it'd be a way to psych myself up so that if they did, I'd be like, "I was ready for you." Like,
Well, it's like anytime we play against a ghost face in Dead by Daylight, I can usually spot him like right away, like
yeah.
pretty quickly, and I just yell, "I see you! I see you looking at me! You're not being sneaky."
Or when it's Michael, it's like, "Hi, Mikey."
Yeah.
The one that always makes him jump is Pig. Like
Uh,
that one's a sneaker.
I don't think I've ever played
Or
it.
just when they have a perk where they can just be quiet and just suddenly appear.
They have an invisibility cloak.
They just have a silence. I don't know. Like I'm looking around me, and they still sneak past.
yeah, I can't remember what the actual name for the killer is, but the one that we call Bing Bong, where he has the ability to go invisible, and then you just hear his bell that he rings.
Oh yeah, like I call him Ding Dong Man.
But whenever he goes invisible and
Yeah,
he
the
tries to
race.
sneak up on
Yeah.
me, I can usually spot him really quickly because the air where he is right there.
Yeah, it's like a little moving air particles, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm like, it's not very sneaky of you if I can see you.
Oh my gosh.
It's even more scary though if that bell has the silent bell add-on. Like that's the like.
All right, real quick. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you next
Sam
time.
is waving in spirit.